comment,
and subscribe for more content.
Where's the notification bell?
It's to the right of you.
Oh.
What's up, guys? Welcome to this edition of a Funko Popcast, the 3-year anniversary of a Funko Popcast, for that matter. I am DK Wrestler.
And I am MD Shady.
And like I said, can't believe we are now 3 years doing this podcast. We began, I believe it was February 1st, 2019. And although this podcast is released on the 28th, might as well call it the 3-year anniversary at this point, since it would already surpass the 3-year anniversary for next week. But we got a decent lineup for everyone today on our 3-year anniversary podcast. We will kick off with our segment, What's the Haps, which will actually be the first What's the Haps segment of the new year. We have the recent Funko Pop announcements, which there's some banger ones that we will be discussing about. And then we will have the top 10 Funko Pops of January 2022. But without further ado, we might as well kick off with a What's the Haps segment, since we haven't done that in a while, which we discuss about what has been happening with us the last week or so, whether it's watching TV series and movies, playing video games, whatever our life has kind of brought to us. MD, what's the haps with you?
Well, here living in Ontario, we definitely got a ton of snow recently. So one thing that I have been doing is going tobogganing, which is a lot of fun. I mean, it's been years since I've gone tobogganing, and did hurt my back on the first night that I went tobogganing. I've also been playing a little bit of pond hockey, skating around. That's fun stuff to do. But when we're keeping it to the indoor activities here, what have I been doing? I've been watching the Golden Girls. Rest in peace, Betty White, obviously. Really cool show. I always have loved the Golden Girls, but I figured I would revisit it now that all 4 Golden Girls have passed. I have also been watching the Spider-Man animated series from the 90s, which is just such a work of art. I really, really do love that show. And then after that, I'll probably end up watching Spider-Man Unlimited, I think. Will probably be the next one I watch. That's basically all I've been watching recently. I actually did watch Muppets Treasure Island the other night, which great movie. I love the Muppets, and that movie's awesome. And I've also been playing NHL. Obviously, I am the goalie for my EA SHL team. We will be playing sometime later tonight. And we're doing pretty good. We're in Division 2, which is awesome. Like right on the cusp of hitting Division 1, which is just amazing. We've been playing with a lot of really, really tough teams now. So I don't know how much farther we're going to go with this, but it's looking pretty good. So what's the haps with you, DK?
Besides filming content for the channel, there hasn't been really much that I've been doing. Gyms have been closed because of the new rules at the moment, except they actually open up next week again. Thank God. But as terms to TV shows, movies, games that I've been playing, shredding Fortnite like usual. I was actually gifted the battle pass for this season, so I was actually able to obtain Spider-Man a few nights ago. So I've been rocking Spider-Man and using some spider webs. But also, as terms of TV series and movies, I have been watching The Book of Boba every week since it had released on Disney Plus, and I love the series. I think actually the pilot episode for Book of Boba has probably been, in my opinion, the best pilot episode out of any of the Disney Plus series that have been made so far, in my opinion. I think a close second would probably be The Mandalorian, but I think Book of Boba definitely had a sweet pilot episode. And just the way that show is right now is wicked to watch every Wednesday on Disney Plus. And then another series I've been watching is Naruto. I've been wanting to watch some more anime, and I decided to go into Naruto. It's taken me a bit because I'm trying to balance out watching Naruto with filming content with the channel, and I'm on season 8, I believe, or at least that's what they say for Netflix, because I was watching it on Netflix, and then the person that I was using their Netflix actually canceled it, so I no longer have Netflix. And so I've been watching it on third-party streams where it's like the actual, like, whatever I think there's actually only like 5 seasons, because the normal actual seasons are like 50 episodes each, but like they made it so that's like longer seasons, I guess, for the Netflix. So that's how I remember it. I believe it would be season 8 if it was on Netflix, but it's actually, I think, season 4 or 5 in the actual seasons arc of Naruto, which after watching Naruto, I think I'm going to watch Shippuden. I don't exactly know, because there may be a video in the future involving Naruto on the channel, which is why I've been watching Naruto. So So stay tuned for that. If you're a Naruto fan, there may be a Naruto-like video on the channel in the near future. So now we're going to move over to this week's set of Funko Pop announcements, or at least this past week's, which range from January 17th up until January 21st. Everything's kind of been silent because of Fun TV this past week, which was not the greatest thing to watch, in my opinion. But without further ado, kicking off January 17th, Funko had announced a pop of a new Lil Wayne with Lollipop, which is a Funko Shop exclusive. And most likely this is still available since a lot of Funko Shop exclusives do not sell out right away. Then on January 19th, GameStop had announced their own exclusive glow-in-the-dark pop of Eve for the newer Wally lineup, in which that is available now to purchase on the GameStop website. On that same day, Pop Culture had announced 2 exclusive pops, first being an Artist Series Riddler, and then we have ourselves a flocked Knuckles from Sonic the Hedgehog, in which these are available now with restricted shipping to the US on Pop Culture's website. Then on January 20th, Funko had announced a new wave of Hamilton Funko Pops, which we got ourselves common pops of King George, an Act 2 Alexander Hamilton, Thomas Jefferson, and James Madison, with exclusive pops of a Walmart exclusive King George, and then announced by Funko Europe later that day. And it's available now on their website for the specific 3-pack of Angelica, Eliza, and Peggy, in which the majority of this lineup is expected to release as early as February 2022. And then the last 2 pops announced on January 21st by Funko. First off, we got ourselves the second of 4 Pop Deluxe pops for the Buyer's House Pop Deluxe set for Stranger Things, which is, of course, of Demogorgon, which is available for pre-order now on Amazon's website, since that's where it's exclusive to, and is expected to release as early as April 2022. And the last pop to discuss about before doing our top 10 list is the blue translucent Ariel from The Little Mermaid, which was announced by Entertainment Earth since it's their own exclusive, and that's expected to release as early as May of 2022. So kicking off with the Lil Wayne pop, which this is okay. There was some hype over this, I'm pretty sure, because I don't know if this is involved with a music video. I don't listen to Lil Wayne at all, but I'm pretty sure that's what people are saying, if I can remember correctly. I like the detail of him holding like a full-on mic stand with his mic and the way his hair is and that. I just feel like, from what I remember, I feel like the other one was better because, if I'm not mistaken, the other one had a mouth, I believe. I could be wrong. I can't exactly remember because I don't own this pop, and we hadn't talked about that Lil Wayne, the original one, since I believe Funko Fair last year, or it was Funko Fair the year before, which was 2 years ago. So I can't exactly remember, but from what I remember, I feel like the other Lil Wayne pop that was announced looked better than this one, in my opinion. But overall, you got the face tattoo details. He's got the lollipop. His pose is pretty decent, I guess, also. So that's okay. Then we got ourselves the glow in the dark Eve from Wally. This is all right. I mean, did we really need a glow in the dark variant of an already existing character? Not really. But I mean, it's easy to say that Funko would do this kind of thing. And looking at the glam shot for this pop, it looks like that this glow in the dark could be really cool the way that they pulled this off, especially with the eyes and that. But actually, Top Pops recently got this at our local GameStop Canada, and the glow is not as great as it looks in this glam shot, which does not surprise me because we've said so many times on the podcast that blue is not the greatest color when it comes to glow in the dark. So to look at this pop, if you're expecting for a great glow, at least in my opinion, it does not look that great because all you can see are the eyes and not the kind of the swooshing effect, because I think it's supposed to give the illusion that Eve is flying at this point and not just standing still. Then we got the Artist Series Riddler from Batman Forever. I guess talk about late timing because we actually recently released on the channel a ranking video of ranking every Artist Series pop. And this was not included because this was not announced at the time, but only if it was, essentially. I mean, I'm sure it was like leaked or something, but of course I don't look up those leaked pages. This is one of those pops where I have no idea what to say for this because I feel like the green looks nice, like the dark green, like as the main color, and then the light green as kind of the art there really pop out nicely. And then you have kind of the question mark cane there that he has that's all gold there. So I think the colors look nice. But once again, it goes with my gripes of artist series pops that essentially have those designs where all the art is essentially their own logos and it's not really art. But I think overall, when you look at this, it's one of those pops where it does look nice in the box because you have that dark purplish box, but then you have a green pop. So it really stands out. And I don't exactly know what this looks like in person. I feel like though the colors may be darker in person, if I were to guess correctly, than what they look like in the glam shot. I think it's one of those cases again where the glam shot looks better than essentially the actual pop itself. And talk about huge perfect timing. We're celebrating our 3-year anniversary, and we get to talk about such a fucking banger pop in Knuckles. Holy guys, it's finally here. We have been wanting this since before doing the podcast and essentially starting collecting Funko Pops of a new Knuckles Funko Pop. And this is fantastic. And they made it flocked. I can totally see them doing different variants of Knuckles in the future, but just having this pop and looking at it is so awesome. I know that, of course, this pop was technically leaked because Target, where this is exclusive to, had already released this pop in stores and people have been selling this on eBay and Mercari and all those websites. And it's actually confirmed because of the photos we've seen that it will be one of the TargetCon 2022 exclusives, which I feel like for this pop, it's going to be one of those pops where I'm probably going to have to get the special edition sticker first to know that I have this pop right away because of the price that will probably go within the next couple of months, especially in April when the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 movie comes out. And we've already had confirmed that Knuckles is essentially going to be in that movie. So I feel like the price for a little bit is going to be very high for at least the TargetCon exclusive sticker. So if I can go to, which I'm going to assume is going to be Toys R Us, and go pick up a special edition flocked Knuckles and have it right then and there, then I will do that until I can obtain a TargetCon version. And then other than that, if I want to get rid of these special edition sticker somehow, it probably could be one of our monthly giveaway prizes, to be honest, and we can use it for that. But this is one of those pops I can't miss on it, no matter what the sticker is. Then we got a new wave of Hamilton pops, which I still have yet to see Hamilton. I'm so far behind on seeing that. I mean, on the bright side, though, at least I've seen Avengers Endgame. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge to MD, who probably still hasn't seen Endgame yet. But overall, talking about the Funko Pops, there was a lot of hype for Wave 2 because there's a lot of characters here that people were wanting when the first wave came out. More specifically, I think people were super hyped about King George and Thomas Jefferson while looking at the comments, and they were really excited about those. People were actually excited about the Alexander Hamilton pop because this is for Act 2, as it's described in the Funko Pop. So it's a different outfit. As terms of the King George pops, I actually like the common one better than the exclusive one. I just think you get more bang for your buck out of that, especially because you have this nice cape and he's holding his scepter, is what I'm going to say. I've watched too many King of the Ring matches in WWE to not mess that up and call it a scepter. But I think there's more to go with that King George pop, in my opinion, than there is the Walmart exclusive one where he's kind of holding the scepter like a cane. But overall, these are some pretty sweet pops, and I think the majority of these will sell very well since Hamilton clearly is one of those more popular properties in today's age in Funko. And then I guess I totally forgot about the 3-pack to mention about, which most likely were 3 common pops from the previous wave slapped into a 3-pack and adds a special edition sticker, which if I were to guess correctly, these will probably be Walmart exclusives because that's what Walmart does. Boom, 3-packs. Then we got ourselves the second of 4 Buyer's House Pop Deluxe Pops, which is of Demogorgon. We had the 11-1 announced, I believe December was announced, and now we have Demogorgon announced this month. And I think we already predicted that it will probably be Will Byers and Hopper as the final 2 pops for this set that's kind of in that black silhouette for the glam shot here, which this is pretty decent. I actually like the way the colorway is. I mean, it makes sense. What I mean by that is the wall it makes sense for that kind of bluish tone because of Demogorgon most likely being a part of the Upside Down, while 11 is still in kind of the real world. And it's a pretty decent pop. So maybe in the future, maybe MD most likely, because I don't see myself getting any more Stranger Things pops besides the like 2 that I have. We'll probably get all 4 of these and then do a like build a scene video where he connects all 4 of these pops together for an eventual video. So stay tuned on the channel because that probably will happen, to be honest. And the last pop to discuss about is the blue translucent Ariel from The Little Mermaid, exclusive to Entertainment Earth. And I don't know what it is. I don't have any negativity towards this. This seems like a pop that I would have some sort of negativity towards because it's some sort of different variant. But I think it definitely makes sense. You see, obviously, Ariel in the water all the time because, of course, she's a mermaid. And I think it also makes sense for actually what we kind of discuss about with the Bluto NFT pop is the fact that they recently announced a Little Mermaid Funko soda, and the chase for that Funko soda is the blue translucent Ariel. So I think it makes sense that they made it into Funko Pop form in case there are people out there, which I'm sure there's some people that kind of think that Funko sodas are a little overhyped per se. So they would just collect the pop of it. Although I don't think that. I think Funko sodas are sweet. Obviously, we just had a mystery box unboxing last week on the channel. But this pop is really cool. I really like how the blue translucent effect looks on this Funko Pop and how it actually looks more like water than it actually does with a lot of translucent pop. Because there have been a lot of translucent pops, I feel, especially blue translucent, that just didn't really translate as well as you would see in a glam shot. I think this would be the opposite of what I discussed about with Riddler and Eve. In this point, I feel like the actual pop itself looks as good or maybe even better than what the glam shot had offered, which this photo we're looking at right now is what it actually looks like. But you can look up the glam shot photos on Entertainment Earth's website. And I feel it looks better in person than it does in the glam shot.
Okay, though there is not a ton of pops, I definitely have quite a bit to say. So, starting out with the new Lil Wayne, this is pretty cool. I do think I like the other Lil Wayne a bit better, but this one is pretty decent. I like the pose of it. I like how they took a Lil Wayne actually from the Lollipop music video. I think that's a good idea. I think overall the pop looks great. I just kind of like the original one better, though this one does have a way better like stand, obviously, because it has a stand. And then, like I said, the positioning of them is great. This is awesome. I will be buying this because I do like pop rocks, and I'm happy now that they're diving deeper into making pops of rappers or like hip hop groups, which is cool. Then we have the GameStop exclusive glow in the dark Eve. This is all right. Like DK had mentioned, though, the glow isn't the best on this, which isn't surprising. But I do think that this is a decent figure. And if you're going to get this version of Eve, you might as well get the glow in the dark one because I don't think it really affects what it looks like while it's not glowing. So this is okay. And I do feel kind of bad, I guess, for people like the guy who I had mentioned on last week's pod, I think it was, that he has a full collection of everything Disney that Funko has made. And now he has to go buy this, though he might not want it or necessarily have the room. But I mean, that's what comes with collecting a full collection of Disney Funko items. The art series, The Riddler. DK summed this one up pretty well. It's not terrible. It's not bad. I do like it. I do think it looks decent. I could see it definitely being darker in person, which is kind of a shame because I do really like the way the colors look with this. But yeah, it's just an average art series pop, I guess. And then finally, the Nux has come back. Sorry if that was a little cringy. We love WWE. This pop is unreal. I'm super happy about this. So happy that it's flocked. I did know about this because I did kind of get leaked about it, but that's fine because I kind of figured it was coming, and it looks great. I mean, it's not the best. We could definitely see some other versions of Knuckles, but it's a flocked Knuckles pop. And I think that DK is pretty smart about what he said. And it was exactly what I was thinking, where this will probably end up hitting up our local Toys R Us eventually. We'll get it there with the stupid special edition sticker. And then when the time comes, we will probably each get one with the Target Con sticker, because Target Con stickers are actually some of my favorite stickers right now. I really like how they look. I think that they look good. They're kind of a newer sticker, which is cool. And obviously this one will be a new edition being in 2022. But yes, this Knuckle Pop is really cool, and I can't wait to see other variations of this Knuckles. And I wouldn't even be mad if there were to be a 3-pack of Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails, where it's just repurposing these figures. Let's say if they did like a non-flocked version, and that's the only way you can get the non-flocked version is in a 3-pack. I think that'd be cool. I would definitely buy that as well. Then moving on, we have the new wave of Hamilton Pops, and these are awesome. I only have a couple of Hamilton Pops. I believe I have 2 Hamilton Pops right now, and I definitely want to buy every single Hamilton Pop. I loved the movie. I would love to go see it live, but this new wave is great. King George, awesome. Obviously, we have the new Hamilton. That's okay. And then Jefferson is really cool. Obviously, what's his name? David Diggs, who has the other character of Lafayette in Act 1, I believe, in Hamilton. Just so cool. This new set is awesome. I will definitely be picking these up as they come out. And then we have the Walmart exclusive of King George. And this is okay. I do think that the common is better because you get that really cool cape that he's wearing. And he's kind of posed in like the same position, but he's got his one hand out, which is really, really cool. I do think it's interesting that he has like his hand kind of on his hip. I do wish for this exclusive, the Walmart exclusive, that he was sitting on the little stool that he does sit on in one part of the, I guess, play, you could call it, the musical, I suppose, because I feel like that was like the really funny part. He's a very funny character in the show, especially with all his facial expressions. So it sucks that the facial expressions aren't really like shown on this pop, but I do think if he would have been sitting on the stool with like his legs crossed over or whatever, that would have been hilarious. And maybe we'll see one in the future, but for now, getting 2 King George Pops is pretty dang cool. And then we have the 3-pack of Angelica, Eliza, and Peggy. This is cool. I do like this. I'm glad that I haven't bought these 3 pops yet, because now I can just buy it in this 3-pack, which is good for me, obviously, because I would assume it would be just a few dollars less to get the 3-pack rather than the 3 single pops. Then we have the second of 4 of the Build-A-Scene Buyer's House pops, and we have the Demogorgon, and this is cool. It's not the best Demogorgon we've seen. Obviously, we've seen some really cool ones like the Blacklight one. That's really, really cool. So this is all right, but I do think that once we have all 4 of these and they are put together, I think that's kind of where the magic happens with these, because that's what they're meant for. I don't think these are really meant for you buy one, like, ooh, I like a Demogorgon, so I'm going to buy this. I mean, you could do that, but I do think that once all 4 of these are out, we're going to be really happy with the turnout. I think it's going to look really good. And then last but not least, we have the Entertainment Earth exclusive Ariel. Yeah, I'd agree with what Dylan said. Like, I don't have anything negative to say against this, besides that I think I could have done it better. And what I would have done with this, if I were, let's say, a person working for Funko, is I would have took this exact pop the way it is. And then if you do see on this photo, there are some bubbles kind of floating around. I would have took just even little white circles, placed them sporadically on this pop, and put it in an art series box. That is an art series pop, in my opinion. I think that just makes sense. Like, it's a pop, and it's not just, oh, a bunch of clamshells and tridents and stuff on an Ariel pop. It's her looking like water, which is what I think it would look best like. Like, let's say if you're looking at the new art series TMNT pops, I think instead of doing what they did with that, it would have been really cool if they could have done like a city kind of horizon landscape on them, and you put all 4 of them together, or 5, I guess, because there is 5 in the set, and they kind of match up, and you could see like a whole like view of the city. I think that's what art is to me, not just throwing cowabunga on a pop. So I think if they would have put some bubbles on this pop and called it an art series pop, it'd probably be the best one we've ever got.
Are you looking for great pop protectors? Then look no further than popbox.ca. They have a variety of 4-inch and 6-inch protectors in different quantities. Do you want to get 10 protectors, 20? You can get even up to 250 pop protectors over on popbox.ca. And also use our promo code of Funko Popcast for 10% off of your entire purchase of pop protectors. The code is going on until supplies last. So go get your pop protector needs now over on popbox.ca using our code of Funko Popcast to get 10% off, and also free shipping over $75 in both Canada and the US with duty fees included.
And let me tell you guys, we're not just screwing around here. These are some great pop protectors. We own a multitude of these protectors. They are some of the best I've seen. Stop buying from EB Games. I'm not boycotting EB Games by any means, but their pop protectors are not as good. So again, use code AFunkoPopcast for 10% off.
All right, so now we're moving on to the top 10 Funko Pops of January 2022, the first top 10 list we are doing for the new year, which, even though we are recording this on Monday, January 24th, and we still got exactly an entire week of January left to do, what's going to happen is obviously we will have the update segment next week on the pod. So without further ado, we will kick off like usual with MD Shady and his number 10 pick.
All right, we have the first set of top 10 pops for 2022, and this is pretty exciting. So starting off at number 10, I do have the Hamilton of the girls. I know that these are already existing pops and just thrown in a 3-pack, but like I said, for me, it really works because I do plan on getting those pops. And now I don't have to go out and kind of find them separately. Let's say if an EB Games has one and then a Toys R Us has one and then I don't know, like a Chapters or something has another one, I can just buy them all in a 3-pack. And I think that that's cool just in my situation.
Coming in at number 10 on my list is the GameStop exclusive glow in the dark Eve. I think overall the pop is really cool and just the way they executed her flying in it, but definitely what makes it to the bottom of the list and most likely won't be on this list when we do the update is of how the glow in the dark actually turned out and how it was more of a disappointment than what it actually had shown on the glam shot as advertised. So that is the reason why it's at the bottom of the list, but overall it's still a decent looking pop.
Coming in at number 9 on my list, I have the Funko Shop exclusive Stitch on People Mover. Glad that they added a character like Stitch in here. So it's not just your main kind of Disney characters. You actually have some characters from movies that are also on there as well. And I think Stitch obviously is a huge fan favorite character. So that makes sense. Hopefully we do see some more other like weird kind of obscure characters to go onto the People Mover set.
Coming in at number 9 on my list is the Box Lunch exclusive Winnie the Pooh in Rain. I think the detail of this pop is pretty sweet. I love the base and how you see the raindrops. Although we have seen a lot of Winnie the Pooh pops in the last year or so, which is why it's near the bottom, because it's just not really that exciting to us per se of seeing more Winnie the Pooh pop since I don't collect Winnie the Pooh overall, but detail's great, which is why it had to make the list. And people obviously are hyped for Winnie the Pooh pops when the majority of them get announced.
Coming in at number 8, I have the new Amazon exclusive Demogorgon for the Buyers Build-A-Scene. I think that this one is pretty cool. I like how they're doing the upside down in the background. I'm glad that they did it like that. And I'm just so interested to see what these look like when all 4 of them are out and kind of connected together. I think it's going to look really, really cool.
Coming in at number 8 on my list is the Funko Shop exclusive Stitch on People Mover. It's not even a deluxe, it's just a normal 4-inch pop. I feel like MD hit the nail on the head of the coffin, or whatever the phrase is there, for the, and MD's laughing at me right now, whatever the phrase is, on what he exactly said and how it's not your regular, like, mainstay Disney characters that are featured. I mean, you did have the Mickey, you had the Minnie, and you had a Pluto, I'm pretty sure, but you had Stitch, which normally doesn't get discussed about when you talk about the mainstay Disney characters, but it's still cool. I think it is definitely the best people mover pop and probably the most hyped pop out of that entire Walt Disney 50th anniversary set, which is why it made it on the top 10 list for me per se.
Coming in at number 7 on my list is actually a shocker, but it's a pop that I think was done very well. And that is the do-it-yourself Mickey. I normally wouldn't put a do-it-yourself on a top 10 list because there's not a lot going on with it. But that is the good part about this. It's a blank canvas that I think would be done very, very well. And I can't wait to see creations for this pop. And I love how the box, the heart-shaped box of chocolates is also just a blank canvas. You can write anything you want on there or put a picture there, whatever you want to do. I think this is a really well done do-it-yourself pop.
Coming in at number 7 on my list, it is the 1900 piece NFT Bluto pop for the Popeye lineup. I think the detail is really cool. It's cool to see a brand new Popeye pop. However, I'm sure people are disappointed that if they're looking for a 100% Popeye complete set, that it's almost virtually impossible to get the Bluto because it is so limited unless you're willing to pay the astronomical amount of money that it will probably cost on the secondary market, being only 1900 pieces. But I mean, if you actually got or at least paid for the NFT packs and you got the Bluto, then that's great. And then you can essentially make some money back as terms to the other cards that you get that you can sell on the Wax website. But the details really cool. The boxes are pretty decent for NFT pops, and it's cool to see a new character, which is why it's added to this top 10 list.
Moving on to number 6, I have listed down the Lollipop Lil Wayne. I think that the pose on this is really awesome, though I don't think better than the other Lil Wayne we got. Cool to see some more Lil Waynes, and obviously, like I said, some new rapper Funko Rocks pops.
Coming in at number 6 on my list is the Target exclusive Valentine's Day Mandalorian with Grogu. I think this pop looks excellent. You have basically a pop and buddy going on without having to, I guess, pay. Well, Pop and Buddies, they don't even really charge anything extra. You still pay the regular $15 Canadian, I think $11.99 or $12, whatever US price is for a more common pop, but at least actually this is an exclusive, so maybe a little more, but everyone gets my gist. They're not going to charge more than the regular 4-inch exclusive price for this by having 2 characters. And you kind of have a couple objects there. He's holding Grogu, and then Grogu is holding the, I think, I Love You heart-shaped chocolate container, which is really, really cool. And the way that they did the colors are also great for these Valentine's Day pops.
Now we are halfway through the list and we are moving on to number 5. And at the number 5 spot on my list, I have the NFT Bluto. I think this is really cool. I think DK summed it up pretty well that it's a new character that looks great, but it kind of sucks because it's an NFT pop and it's virtually, I guess, impossible to get. I mean, obviously you could get it from either secondary market or if you're real lucky, but I think that this shouldn't have been an NFT pop in my opinion, but I do think that the pop is great.
Coming in at number 5, it is the Valentine's Day Grogu for the lineup. I do like this pop and I do enjoy it basically better than the majority or maybe even better than all of the Valentine's Day pops just because of how they executed the pop and how it was the Grogu with the cookies from the original Mandalorian lineup, but then they did a smart decision and switched it up with one of those heart-shaped candies. I think that definitely made sense and it looks great in my opinion. The colors look great on Grogu.
Moving on to number 4, I have the Little Mermaid movie moments. I think this thing looks great. It's a really cool movie moments. I think that the way they executed the stone look with kind of the speckles just really gave it that feeling of stone. Just the whole thing together looks really cool. This is a great movie moments pop.
All right, moving on to number 4 on my list. It is the King George Common Pop from Hamilton. Like I mentioned, I do enjoy the Common better than the exclusive one because of how you get more bang for your buck, especially with the cape and just the posing and everything involved with that pop. And King George was one of the more hyped characters for this set when Funko had announced it and people were commenting on social media platforms.
Moving on to number 3, I have the King George pop. Just the common, not the exclusive. I do think that the common is better because you do get a little bit more of a pose, I guess, and obviously the cape, which has a lot of detail on it, I would assume. Haven't seen the back of it, but just from seeing the sides of it, it definitely looks like it's going to look really nice. And I mean, we got a brand new character of King George for the Hamilton lineup.
Coming in at number 3 on my list is the Pop in a Box exclusive Unmasked Bruce Wayne from the Batman lineup, or I should say the Batman. I think the detail on this pop is really cool compared to a lot of the pops from the Batman lineup because you kind of have that dark eyeshadow going on and with like the dirty, scraggly hair and just how he's holding his own mask. It's something very different compared to a lot of Batman pops per se. throughout the years that Funko has done Batman pops. And I think it looks pretty cool. And I'm sure that a lot of people would agree with me that it's probably the best pop of the entire set.
Coming in at number 2 on my list, I have the NFT Freddy Funko as Popeye. I don't know what it is about this one. I really like it. I think it's simplistic, and I think that that's usually a good thing for Freddy Funkos. I don't mind when they just slap a head on a different character's body, and Popeye's really cool. We haven't seen, I think there's only one Popeye pop actually, besides these new NFT ones. So getting a Freddy Funko version is awesome.
Coming in at number 2 on my list is the Box Lunch exclusive Ariel and Eric's statue pop movie moments. So much detail, especially with the statue and how it actually looks like stone when they could have just done one solid color. Even the base around it, where you kind of get that swooshing water effect with Ariel, is really, really awesome. And a lot of people are super hyped about this. Personal reaction was up on this a little bit because it looks really cool compared to a lot of movie moments we've gotten. But it's not number 1 because I think it's safe to say we already know what both of our number 1 pops is. And I honestly feel like I shouldn't even do a graphic for myself because we probably have the same number 1. I just put MD and DK's number 1.
Yeah, I think it's pretty safe that we don't really have to guess what it's going to be, because this is a pop that we've been wanting for pretty much ever. Obviously, there has been one of this pop before, but it is a kind of a nightmare fuel looking pop. It's not the greatest. It is older, obviously. And that was one of those pops where when we first started getting into collecting, this pop was already on the rise. Obviously, not to the extent of the price that it's at now. So now we finally have a new one, and it is flocked. And of course, it is the Target Con 2022 exclusive flocked Knuckles. This thing is so cool. So happy that it's flocked. They could have easily given us a common version of not being flocked first, but I think it's great that they did give us the flocked version first, because that's what people definitely want. We have flocked Sonic, we have a flocked Tails. Why not give us the flocked Knuckles to kind of complete the trifecta of the characters? And I don't know, I'm just so happy that we finally have a Knuckles, and I'm sure we're going to see a lot of cool ones down the line.
That's going to be the end of this week's podcast. If you enjoyed our special 3-year anniversary of a Funko podcast, make sure you smash that like button. Comment in the comment section below and let us know your favorite pops that were announced throughout the month of January 2022. Press the subscribe button for more content like this video in the future, and press the little bell beside it to be notified of when that future content gets released. But anyways, guys, thank you for listening to this week's podcast, and we hope to see you guys next week on a Funko Popcast. 1, 2, 3, I'm out of here.
Alrighty then. Peace in, peace out.